Libra. My name is Audrey Allison. Thank you for joining me for your April 2016 forecast for the month. I am using the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place, my steadfast deck. I am outside and it is noisy in the neighborhood today, so just letting you know, you might hear some auto body shop noises to the right of me. But let's get into the forecast because there's so much going on in April, and we have a lot of planets that are retrograding. And we start at the top of the month on the 5th of April with Venus, your ruling planet, making a shift into Aries. And your 7th house of relationships and partnership and business partnership is really activated this month. With Venus, the planet of love and harmony and balance, entering your soulmate sector. Some of you Librans are enjoying relationship or have the possibility of encountering a relationship, because when Venus enters Aries, this fire sign stimulates and triggers Mars and a retrograde Saturn stationed in Sagittarius. So Venus will trine Mars and Saturn in the fire sign energies between your communication sector in the 3rd house and your 7th house of partnership. Beautiful, smooth information coming clearly across. We do have a Mercury retrograde by the end of the month, so make sure the first 3 weeks you use all of your communication skills as effortlessly as you can. Venus will be in the sector until the 29th of April, so that's a nice chunk of time for you to attract the right people to you. Venus is also money, and your ruling planet governs Libra as well as she does Taurus, and Taurus is where she gets the sensibility for finance, and Libra is the love. Mercury on the same day, on the 5th of April, enters Taurus into your 8th house of shared resources and your intimacies and other people's money and where you have your money. And Mercury wants you going over the details, which is Mercury, the analysis, the intellect, the study of all things 8th house, where your money is, your property, your investments, your intimate relationship. When Mercury enters Taurus, this activates Pluto in Capricorn, another earth sign energy, trining Pluto intensity in your more quiet sector, the 4th house. The 4th, 8th, and 12th house are the most quiet of the astrological wheel of our cosmos, and this Mercury trining this subtle energies, the subtle houses is what I want to say. Pluto is not a subtle energy. He's very intense, and he's been in the home sector. You're digging deep in the 4th house of environment and foundation and home. And you've had some loss in the home. Some of you Librans, Pluto equaling loss and death in the 4th house. So you're clearing a lot of energy out, which is healthy and good for you. We have our new moon early this month on the 7th. The new moon at 18 degrees of Aries, conjunct Venus, conjunct Uranus. The sun and the moon are in Aries. This is your 7th house of relationship. What a beautiful month, April, for Librans, because it's about the opposite sector of October, when you were born, September, October. So your 7th house of soulmates is strong, and marriage. You should get out and be seen around the new moon of the 7th, if you'd like to activate this. That sector in your life. Not so much light-hearted dating. The 7th house is pretty serious and committed, but this is also about new business partnerships. For those of you who are doing things on your own, looking for investors in the 8th, looking for business partners in the 7th, this is the month. On the 17th, Mars retrogrades, and Mars is stationed in Sagittarius. So he retrogrades in your 3rd house of communications. So 3rd house of the vehicle, maybe the car might go through something in the Mars retrograde, but this is a retrograde from April 17th through June 30th. Mars slows down the energy in the communication sector, the energy that you have for siblings, the energy and stamina that you're having for local errands, local travel. Mars wants a little bit more rest and he retrogrades back to 23 degrees of Scorpio. And when Mars retrogrades back into 23 degrees of Scorpio, he goes back into the money sector for you, where there is an energy review of your finances or your possessions or your self-worth, self-value. And Mars retrogrades once every 2 to 2.5 years or so. So this retrograde is needed. We haven't had a Mars retrograde since 2014. And it's reviewing your energy for communication and a reassessment of the finances and where they're divvied between the 2nd and the 8th house. Oh, things are dropping from the trees above me. I don't know if it's that silly squirrel that messes with me or just crazy acorns or leaves. But if you hear them, there's a lot of activity in the neighborhood today. Okay, so the review of the finances as well through June 30th of 2016. So both planets, Saturn and Mars, stationed in Sagittarius, are retrograding. Then we have Pluto retrograding on the 18th of April, the day later. Pluto in this 4th house of home, an environment. It might lessen up on you a little bit, the intensity of what you've been going through in your foundation, environment, 4th house of mother. So it depends on how it relates to every Libran very differently. It can't be the same way for everyone. But I don't mind a Pluto retrograde. It's an intense planet regardless. So you're kind of in it, and since he's such a slow mover, you're having an intense connection with where you come from, the place you're living in, your roots, your deep family connection. On the 19th, a day later, a lot of consecutive energies happening. The Sun enters Taurus like he does every year on the 19th. Again, igniting the 8th house, conjunct Mercury. The Sun will be conjunct the Mercury retrograde that's occurring this month on the 28th of April. Okay, so when the Sun is in the 8th house, some of you that have pending settlements or pending property, housing, shared resources situations, these could go through when the Sun enters the 8th house, conjunct Mercury there, trining Pluto in the 4th. Maybe new property is coming into the picture for some of you Librans. This could also be your intimate relationship. When the Sun shines in the 8th, you could be very connected to the partner at this time. And if you're looking for an intimate relationship, April is a very, very good month for connection for Libra. On the 22nd, we have our full moon at 2 degrees of Scorpio, bringing closure to something on hold regarding the money. The full moon is in the 2nd house. So you could see a payment come through around the 22nd of April. You could also get rid of some of your possessions. A full moon in the 2nd could be the selling of valuable possessions, bringing an end to, maybe an end to low self-confidence, a self-esteem issue that can come to an end around the 22nd, which would be great because you need to get rid of any of that energy that you're holding on to, Libra. You have to value yourself before others can. So put yourself first. It's not a selfish act to care for yourself. It's not selfish. You're the only person that you truly have in life, so you have to make that relationship impeccable. And if you're not going to support yourself, no one else will, is also something I'm getting. So that might be something internal, not actual tangible monies in the 2nd house, but maybe it's your own interpretation of self-value. Could apply both ways. Now we get to our lovely Mercury retrograde on the 28th of April through May 23rd. Mercury will retrograde at 23 degrees of Taurus in this 8th house, back to 14 degrees of Taurus. And I'm just getting that this could be very interesting for those of you who are meeting new people and you're connecting with them in the 8th house of intimacy. And then Mercury goes retrograde in this sector to have you review the partner. Who is this person? Let's just take a beat. Maybe you rushed in really quickly, where angels Fools rush in where angels fear to tread is the saying that I'm getting. So for some of you who went from meeting someone to the bedroom, you might have to slow the pace here when Mercury wants you to reevaluate, analyze, reassess the situation. Or it's about the shared resources. You don't want to move and shift a lot of your money around from April 28th through May 23rd. Mercury officially clearing his shadow on the 7th of June. On the 29th, Venus, your ruling planet, makes a switch out of Aries and into Taurus. This 8th house is lit up with the Sun, Mercury retrograde there, and now Venus in this 8th house. I think a lot of Librans are meeting people. I'm shuffling for Libra, though, using the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place, my steadfast deck. And if you'd like to book with me, I read all through the week. I'm at audreyallison.com. You can reach me there. And the sun's peering through, so I have to maybe shift the video around a little bit for the next videos. It's a little bright in my eyeballs. Okay, Libra, April. My favorite, Six of Swords, travel. Travel and stepping back from a situation for a minute. That could have to do with the Mercury retrograde. Let me see what else comes up for you. Well, this could be Pluto, Ten of Swords, which is grief, loss, pain, suffering, breaking up, things like that. We'll see what else comes up. Okay. So some of you have been dealing with Pluto in the 4th house and have lost people. I said that earlier. Transformation and change is the theme. And here's the Chariot. Bringing relief to you, and also the vehicle of yours that I think might need to be reassessed in the Mars retrograde. Another card, yes, ending on strength, okay? So, coming out of this, you might start with a little bit of a mental break, release, vacay in the top half of April to go away and calm down, but also let the cloud guide you, the breeze blowing this boat right across the water. You might need to recuperate from a loss. This is a very strong indication that someone has passed. So, I mean, my heart goes out to anybody dealing with loss. I understand. But these are transformative cards, especially ending on these two. You're coming out of a cycle of this, of despair, and you're gaining your strength back. The Chariot's bringing it to you. What a beautiful, beautiful combination of cards. Coming out of the dark, Gloria Estefan. I've been in these forecasts. I normally think of music when I do readings. And in my life in general, I'm always thinking of songs and words. But in these particular forecasts of April, I've been quoting a few songs, so I don't know what that's about. So coming out of the dark and into this energy, which is strength, vitality, gaining yourself back. By summer, by July, this card represents Leo, July and August, July 21 through August 22. By July, your sense of self will have returned, Libra. I feel like you need a little bit of a rest. You've done a lot of work. And you can take that trip prior to the retrograde, before April 29, if you're planning. I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry for some of the interruptions. And I will wish you a beautiful April. And remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.